My name's Alex, this is Tank Tested, and you're looking at a biotope. A biotope is a type of aquascape designed to mimic nature. This tank is at the Glen Echo Aquarium in Washington, D.C. This is one of about 12 tanks in the exhibit, and it mimics some of the small, slow-moving freshwater streams that can be found in the area. I'm going to let the aquascaper himself take it from here, but I'll be jumping in from time to time to give more information. And at the end of this video, I'll be going into some detail of how you can set up a biotope aquarium similar to this. Here's Nick.
My name is Nick Kinser, and I am the aquarist here at the Glen Echo Aquarium. What I really wanted to do with the tank was have a shallow stream look with lots of pebbles and sand and some rounded rocks, and have it look like some driftwood had fallen in, some sticks and twigs. And then in the fall, I decided to do a leaf litter tank, and I got some oak leaves and brought them in and put them in the tank and fell in love with it.
This type of tank is generally called a Blackwater Aquarium. It's called Blackwater because of the tannins the wood and leaves release. If you've ever seen a slow-moving stream or river or a bog with amber-colored water, that water is dyed by tannins. Tannins are also what give coffee, tea, and wine its bitter taste. And that's because tannins are a defense mechanism for plants. The bitter taste discourages animals and people from eating them. Nope, that's too much. No. Let's go back to the tank.
Fish are often very territorial. They need to establish a territory for themselves and kind of be separate from other fish. And even though there weren't a lot of fish in the tank when I set it up, it's always good to have cover, a few hiding places. What you'll find is even though you're offering more places for the fish to hide, they actually show more because they're comfortable and they come out and swim, and otherwise they just get kind of spooked and have nowhere to hide.
These fish are pumpkin seed sunfish. They're a native fish to my hometown of Washington, D.C. Because they're a native fish, you need permits to keep them. They also grow to be about a foot long and are quite aggressive. So even though they're pretty, they're not a fish for your home aquarium. There's also one other native inhabitant of the tank that's kind of exciting.
When I added the leaf litter, the crayfish immediately started burrowing in it. They actually started eating the leaf litter. It was probably lacking something in its diet, so I was happy to see it grabbing the leaves and actually chewing on them.
Leaf litter tanks are great for fish, but they're also wonderful for crustaceans like crayfish and shrimp. So let's talk about how Nick set up this tank.
The tank here, I didn't want to have too many tannins. I didn't want it too black water, so I ended up boiling the oak leaves to get out some of the tannins. Also make sure there was nothing living in them. The rock was actually just bagged rocks from the hardware store. And then the driftwood is manzanita because it's so easily available, and it does mimic, the little branches and twigs you're going to find falling in streams here in the Chesapeake Bay region.
Let's talk about how you can set up your own Blackwater aquarium. First, you want to have leaves that are slow decaying. It'll make your life easier, and they contain the tannins that dye your water. Nick used oak leaves for this scape. If you have access to oak leaves that you know haven't been exposed to pesticides, they're a great option. You want to collect leaves that are crunchy to the touch, and then boil them. Boiling the leaves releases many of the tannins, sterilizes them, and helps the leaves sink faster. Once boiled, you can put the leaves in your tank. They should sink within a day or two. Now, if you don't have access to oak leaves or it's the wrong season, I suggest going with almond leaves. They decay very slowly and are pretty to look at. I've included a link below to the best, cheapest almond leaves I could find on Amazon, as well as a few other products that you can use in a Blackwater tank. If you're going to use wood in your tank, I suggest using a commercially available wood, either manzanita or Malaysian bogwood, and that's because they sink quickly and decompose relatively slowly. As for fish, find ones that are most comfortable in acidic water, because tannins create tannic acid, which can lower the pH of your aquarium a fair bit. So, as with all fish, do your research before building them a habitat. Hopefully this was helpful and inspiring. If it was, please subscribe and like this video. I'll see you next time.